Have you ever been in a moment of crisis where you needed perfect clarity right now? Well, what if I told you that a two-line command thousands of years old could give you exactly that? We're about to decode a powerful piece of wisdom that promises to do just that.
Listen to that. It has some real weight to it, doesn't it? It sounds important, like some ancient, unshakable command. But let's be honest, on its own, its meaning is kind of locked away.
So that's the big question, right? What does it truly mean? Well, that's what we're here for. We're going to break this verse down piece by piece and unlock the powerful logic hidden inside. You with me? Let's go. All right, first things first. To understand this whole thing, we've got to tackle the very first concept in the verse, and that is Svadharma. Trust me, this is the foundation for everything else that follows. So, what is Svadharma? The literal translation is one's own duty. But the key word here, the one you really need to remember, is personal. Swadharma isn't some vague, universal, be a good person kind of thing. No, it's your specific duty. It's the righteous path that is tied to your inherent nature, your unique role in the world. It's deeply, deeply personal. Okay, let's break that down a bit more. You can think of Dharma as this big, universal set of duties we all share. You know, things like being honest, not hurting people, being kind. But Svadharma, that's way more specific. A firefighter's personal duty is totally different from a musician's. A parent's duty isn't the same as an engineer's. Getting that distinction between the universal and the deeply personal is absolutely crucial. And here's the bottom line. Understanding your Swadharma is the foundation for doing the right thing. Before you can figure out what to do in any situation, you first have to understand who you are and what your unique role demands of you. That's the starting point. It all begins there. Okay, so if Svadharma is so personal, that leads to a pretty obvious question, right? Whose duty is this verse actually talking about? Who is this command for? The answer is a Kshatriya. Now, in this tradition, a Kshatriya isn't just a soldier in the modern sense. It's a whole societal role. Think of them as the protectors, the leaders, the guardians of society. They're the ones responsible for upholding justice and keeping things in order. So let's connect the dots. If you are a Kshatriya, then your Swadharma, your personal duty, is all about these things: upholding justice, protecting the defenseless, leading with courage, and defending the social order. It's not about what you feel like doing. It's about fulfilling the fundamental responsibilities that come with your role. All right, so we've got the person, the Kshatriya, and we've got their personal duty, Svadharma. But that's only two parts of the puzzle. What about the situation, the context? Here is just as important. I mean, this command to fight, it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. And that brings us to our final key concept, Dharma Yuddha, literally a righteous war. And this is so important. The verse is not, I repeat, not just promoting violence for the sake of it. It's talking about a very specific kind of conflict, one that's fought for a just cause, as a last resort, purely to uphold what is right. The difference here is night and day. A war fought for personal gain, for greed, for glory, that's an unrighteous war. But a conflict that's necessary to protect the defenseless, to restore justice when all else has failed, that is a righteous war. The motivation is everything. And this is the essential link that ties it all together. The Kshatriya's duty to fight isn't always on. Think of it like a switch that only gets flipped when the cause is truly righteous. Without that just cause, this command has no power. It's completely tied to the morality of the situation. Okay, so we've done the work. We've got our three pieces of the puzzle: Swadharma, the personal duty; the Kshatriya, the specific role; and Dharma Yuddha, the critical context. Now, it's time to put them all together. Let's watch how the full, powerful logic of this ancient verse just snaps into place. So here's how the argument unfolds. Step 1. It starts by telling you to consider your specific duty, your Svadharma. And then it reminds you of your role as a protector and leader, as a Kshatriya. And then it presents the situation. When you're faced with a fight for a just cause, a Dharma Yuddha, there's literally no higher good for someone in your position. So, if you put all that together, the conclusion is simple and it's undeniable. Therefore, you should not waver. To hesitate in that moment wouldn't just be a failure of nerve, it would be a betrayal of your very duty, of everything you are. And there it is.
Suddenly, the ancient words are perfectly clear, right? This isn't a blind call to violence. Far from it. It's a razor-sharp, logical argument about duty, identity, and taking moral action when you're facing a just cause. It's a call for absolute clarity and resolve, right when it matters the most.
So, what does this mean for us today? The big question this verse leaves us with is this. Okay, you might not be an ancient warrior, but you have a role, you have a sva dharma. So, what is the righteous fight that your personal duty is calling you to today? What's the great, just cause that you need to face without hesitation?